Today I'm going to be field stripping and cleaning a 5th generation Glock. It's a full size small frame, so this is going to be the same as a 9mm Model 17, the 40 caliber Model 22, and whatever the 357 SIG is. I don't have one, so I don't really know that one so well. Alright, but let's get to it. Alright, so I'm no Tex Talks Battle Tech, but we'll give it a try anyway. So this is a Gen 5 Glock. Action clear. Safe direction. Alright, so this is just going to be a field strip and clean. So it is not a full detail clean. I like to start at the top and work my way down. I'm going to be using a few different chemicals. I'm a big fan of Kroil. Start by just kind of wiping all of the loose excess off. Getting a good baseline of Kroil in. It's a different safety plunger. Actually, I haven't been inside a Gen 5 yet. Try to bump off any of this more stuck residues with a brass brush. This brush has actually been around quite a while, so it's a little frayed, and it's actually pretty good for doing some of this side work. I do like to try to push up on the extractor a little bit, try to work a little bit of paper towel underneath it. Get into the rails. Especially on this kind of a gun, as far as being a duty weapon or anything you really want to make sure that your life is going to be dependent on, always a good idea just to make sure that the firing pin hole is free. With the Glock, you have to depress the safety plunger and move the striker forward. That one looks pretty clear. Alright, now get a little more detailed in the clean. Now to get a little more detailed in cleaning, I really like Q-tips. They'll let you get into these smaller places that are harder to get to. Right here in the front of this machining, it's the only way I found to actually get in and clean that area. Truthfully, I'm not too concerned with the copper and overseas inside the rails. Go back to our wire brush. Still getting a lot of residue out of the rail. We're going to try one more time with another Q-tip. That one's fairly clean. Try it wet this time. It's picking up a little bit more. That's going to be clean enough. Get a couple more Q-tips out. Without detail stripping it, it's very difficult to get the extractor clean. But you just kind of get in there and work and try anyway. Just for good measure, push out the striker. Make sure that it gets a little bit of a wipe down. Let's get one more here. Make sure we get around this safety plunger. Push it down and see, plenty of crud in there around the safety plunger. It's looking better, but still a little bit more. Get another rag and we're going to do a wipe down. So up here around the crown, you'll generally get some more debris, especially if you're shooting reloads. Front serrations just a little bit. Rear serrations. I mean, if you're going to carry it to save your life, you might as well have it nice and clean. Definitely had some dust built up on the outside. Now you also don't want to leave it wet. We'll set it aside for now. Alright, now for this part. I start off just by brushing off all the loose stuff on the breech face. This is usually pretty foul. try another wet patch. Now we're going to change gears a little bit. Get some Kroil going in it. I don't know if you can see down in the barrel, but it's getting nice and shiny in there. And now we're getting clean wet patches. What I really like about the Kroil is the next time this gun gets cleaned, it'll be much, much easier to brush this stuff out of the bore. Just going to dry that back off. Set it aside and we're done with the hoppies. Alright, I don't do a whole lot with the recoil assembly. Just usually good wipe down, make sure there's no excess buildup on there. Quick little visual. Nothing of much concern, just going to give the exposed end cap here a little bit of a extra wipe. Alright, we'll set that aside. Alright, we're going to take a break and get ready to do the receiver. Alright, so on to the receiver. Usually I like a nylon brush for this, however, I'm not sure where mine got off to. So we're just going to do paper towels and Q-tips for now. Again, this is not going to be a detail strip, this is just field strip and clean. Alright, we're going to go back at it with a little bit of Kroil. Leo's found something to play with over in the corner. Alright, found some dirt in there.
Definitely looks like you've done some modification to the trigger geometry on Gen 5. Oh, yeah, the whole trigger housing is different. And just what I can see from up here, it's different. goes even further back too.
Let's give that a good wipe and see what we got. Actually, you know, before we can do that, get in here in the mag well a little bit. I'm sure there's somewhere tight in here I could get into. See? Pretty. Now on the law enforcement side, usually our firearms inspections, they'll pick a few spots, usually like up in here or maybe around the mag well. Just run a quick rag in it, make sure there's no dirt. And if there is, you may get a talking to, or they just tell you to clean it up. But as you can see, they generally don't tend to mess with me too much because I complain about not being able to go further than a field strip to clean, which I will probably show you in the next video, a little more of a detailed strip. In a detailed strip, I take most everything out. I usually leave the mag release in just because that's an absolute pain for me to get in and out. So I don't like doing it, so I don't usually do it. But the slide, everything comes out except for the striker sleeve. And I sometimes will leave in the slide lock. Other than that, it's a pretty complete strip and clean. Get one more fresh paper towel, make sure that no dirt pops up on me. A little bit under there. Alright, I'm going to go with that's pretty good on the internals. The outside, quick buffing with paper towel. So now is a perfectly safe time to wipe everything down, including the trigger, because the gun is pretty safe at this point. Let's see with this one. Reset forward. Oh wow, a bit of holster wear. Alright, one last time, dry everything off, make sure we're still clean and pretty. Alright, so barrel recoil assembly. Now it's not specified in any book I've ever read, however I found just a drop or two of automatic transmission fluid on a spring will help quiet them down, and it doesn't hurt anything to keep them from rusting. You just need a few drops. You don't use much. Just let it run around a little bit. Alright, Glock does not recommend a whole lot of oil. I use rim oil almost exclusively. One drop there, 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 and I believe it's a drop there, and just for half a drop on the connector. Assemble. Alright, just going to make it clear again because it's never a bad habit. fires. And there we have it. A field strip and cleaned 5th gen Glock. Ready to go back in service.